No need to shout our guests, Johnny. It's perfectly fine. They can talk if they want to. So, everybody, welcome to Netsoc. It's like a really awful version of We Will Rock You. That's like just terrible in every way. But it's my words to open this talk. This is our first night of the year. I'm not going to get into like very heavy technical stuff or whatever, but I am just going to introduce you guys to what we're about and what we're trying to do. We just got a brand new Oculus Rift, and we're very excited to see what it does. However, that said, we're still currently in the process of actually setting the damn thing up. So there might be a bit of a pause between these two things. I expect you guys to try and get to know one another and whatever it is people are actually meant to do in college, and not at all fit the stereotype of a networking, gaming, and technology society. Nonetheless, tonight's talk, and indeed pretty much every single talk this year, is brought to us with the help of our friends of AIG, who gave us €5,000 to support the society. €5,000 translates to an awful lot of pizza, and you will see the effects of this throughout the entire year. We'd like to thank AIG. Go buy insurance, everyone. So what is Netsoc in three simple things? Well, the first thing is make new friends and have fun. We're really active as a social society, probably one of the most active social societies on campus. We have meetups in the SU Common Room every week. We run gaming events and different ones every single week. Sometimes we do kind of different things, film screenings and so on. We shoot hackers and war games because we're all about that 80s hacker vibes in here. And people come in and be like, oh my God, that's what Netsoc's really like. But nonetheless, that's what we're kind of on it for now. Maybe we'll do Kung Fury next, who knows. But we have these events every week. Next week, we're doing a really exciting one with the Oculus. We're going to do a competitive round of Oculus Rift, where we're going to have Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. So one person is wearing this thing, trying to defuse a bomb, and a few other teammates have instruction manuals. So it's competitive shouting, essentially, and we're very excited to see how it works. But it's not just fun and games, it's also fun and learning new skills. As you can see by the fact that we have weekly tech talks and tutorials. We try to do something for a little bit of different levels of skill. So for instance, next week's talk is going to be enter a room with a laptop, leave that room with your own website set up on the internet, fully configured, and we'll be doing it in pretty strong depth. We want some people to be able to leave the room next week having their own complete online store set up and start making money right away. Or we want some people to be able to set up a place for blogging. It's for literally everyone, which is why I wanted to call the event Netsoc for All. But every Netsoc event is for everyone, really. If you're into more heavy stuff, we got some really interesting stuff coming along down the year as well. So we'll be doing Introduction to Programming in Go, being one of our big ones. We'll be getting some developers in from local companies and have them kind of explain new and interesting skill sets. We'll be working with a lot of local developer groups, and hopefully, I'm not 100% sure on the details. You'll hear next week if this is going to happen. We'll be going to the Google headquarters at the end of this month to see some talks from Google engineers and how their services work, and also get a few drinks and so on with some other Netsocs in Ireland. Netsoc in Belfast, which is called Nigma, one of Netsocs in Dublin, which is called Red Brick and so on. We'll all be there. It's a good chance to meet people from other colleges, share thoughts, ideas and so on, and just overall have a good time. But also, we want to kind of expand our society in a big way. We want to see your ideas, be it if you want to build a new service, if you want to learn more about technology, if you want to help out in running events with us. We're always open for people to get involved and do new things with us. And that just means shooting me or anyone else wearing a Netsoc jacket, a few words, an email, whatever. If you have any questions about technology, if you want to set up a website for a club, society, or whatever, we have all of that ready for us. We've got 2 servers running in a data center. We've got 2 servers running in UCC. We're buying 2 more. Last year we spent €4,000 in or around €4,000 on our new server. It's got a lot of power and it's literally doing nothing most of the time. So we're really excited to see what. If you're wondering who was just coughing, that's our head sysadmin over there. He insists his server's doing a lot of things. So that's kind of us. So weekly gaming and social events, weekly talks and tutorials, helpful technical services, online community and resources, and we support local student organizations as well. We have that slide I did up at the start of the week with 881 confirmed members. We're now up to nearly 1,000. We have, I think, 985, having signed up 250 members yesterday alone. Now, obviously, they all didn't show up today because I'm seeing some empty seats up there. So shame people who said they'd show up today and didn't. We ran 48 events last year, 2 events every week for each semester. We really care about this, and we promise to be like one of the most consistently awesome societies on campus. No egotism whatsoever. It's just the truth. So Evan, who was coughing earlier, gave us this quote, which I really liked. You know, if you want to work with computers, start today. Make things that work, make things that fail, but just make. And that's something that like we really care about as a society. If you want to start learning how to do things with computers, you have to start taking risks, taking challenges, showing up to events. You might be out of your depth, you might be able to understand things for a while, but you will learn, you will be able to ask questions, and at the end of the day, you learn through failure with this sort of thing. We'll provide resources. All of our code for all of our services are open source as well, so you can learn how to do it all for yourself. We really care about that and making sure that this is an educational thing for all of us. I worked at Google over the last summer, and I attribute that entirely to the work that I did with Netsoc. I was able to get into a pretty highly competitive workplace simply by like showing the projects that I worked on at Netsoc and other such things. We've had people work really far afield. We had one student who was involved in Netsoc projects go off and work in a research lab in MIT. So there's definitely huge connections that can be made with the initiatives that you take in this society. And like, you can meet people at these events, hand them your CV, you'd be surprised how far something like that can go. So what's coming up? Well, on Tuesday is our first 2 gaming events. I'm really proud of both of them, actually. The gaming team did a great job with these ones. The first one is Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. The one I mentioned before, competitive shouting. It's going to be a blast. Definitely check that one out. The blast explosion joke wasn't intentional. But thanks for laughing. It validates me a lot. We have plenty of other games display as well, of course. So like that's what we do a lot. We have themed gaming nights. We also have a few fan favorites and so on. We have 2 Wii U's, 2 PS4s, and a few gaming PCs around. We're building a new gaming PC this year, and we're actually kind of hoping to make that into an event as well. So if anyone's interested in learning how to get into PC gaming and make your own PC, we'll teach you how to do that as well. Netsoc Retro is coming up. So if you guys have any old favorites from the 64, SNES, GameCube, whatever, we'll try and maybe not GameCube, that one's really hard to set up, but we'll try and figure out a way to set it up so that you can play all these games and relive the past. And we actually kind of do this a lot, like Netsoc Retro, the first night we'll probably like do a lot of Nintendo stuff, but we also have tournaments and like classic games like Pokemon Stadium. We did a Simpsons night where we got like actually kind of bad in retrospect Simpsons games for the PS2 and random, and it was actually a load of fun. So we also have a Christmas party coming up, and when I mentioned AIG and how like a lot of money means a lot of pizza, our Christmas party will also be like pretty cool. We have some ideas for it. It may involve like trying to get a cool venue, have like a cinema screen done up with our games on it and so on. More information on that as it comes. Thursdays, we got some fantastic events coming up, of course. I mentioned Netsoc for All, or like website demonstration, build a website in 30 minutes, no experience required. But if you want something a bit heavier, over the next few weeks we're going to have some interesting events coming up. I mentioned the introduction to programming in Go, I mentioned the possible visit to the Google Developers Group. Our tech lead, Evan Smith, will be kind of giving a lowdown on like how to actually run a web server of your own, pick up some administration skills and so on. And we might even look into like some more hands-on demonstrations. Of course, with that kind of stuff, a lot of it comes down to getting involved with our services, using them on the ground. Our community, of course, has all these events coming up, so there's a lot of ones I mentioned. We also are planning some stuff on careers help, so like interview training and so on. I know that a lot of people who are in like third year, especially with interviews coming up for their work placements, are looking for careers help. We're looking into some stuff for that. We're also really focusing on technical skills that like are useful for college projects, be it final year projects, group projects, kind of focusing on BIS and CS students and skills they might need as well. We're hoping to plan an Inter-Societies coding event. We did one of those last year for the first time. It went pretty well. I met a good few people there, wrote a bit of code, was generally pretty happy with it. In the next semester as well, we're going to have a Pokemon week to celebrate the launch of new Pokemon games. We'll be giving away some prizes for that one. We're going to have a Halloween VR event. We're going to be putting Alien Isolation on the Oculus and seeing how many people we can terrorize for life. And of course, the Netsoc Championship. We have an actual trophy that we'll give to you if you can best your skills at like 3 currently mystery games of different genres. If you're good at literally every game ever, yes, you win loads of prizes and an actual trophy. So like we have over €1,000 of competition prize money to give out. We're really excited about that, and the Netsoc Championship will be bigger and better than last year. while I'm talking about competitions, I hope you guys have all seen on our Facebook page, we're giving away a new Nintendo 3DS. You can get entries for liking our page, sharing posts of ours on social media, and the more points you get, the more likely you are to win. There's also a €50 GameStop voucher for second place there. And if you're into gaming and you want to play games at home and not just in the common room, if you can afford a games console, unlike me, then you can actually check out our Facebook group. We have plenty of people on the Facebook group all the time asking for people to play with, form teams, and just have sort of people you can see around the college, meet up, play a few games or whatever. It seems to be taking off pretty well. If you're into RTSs, FPSs, whatever, check out the group, start a trade on the weekend or whatever. We're going to actually kind of take this a bit more seriously this year, and we're actually going to set up even a committee member who's going to be in charge of running the community, posting fairly often, trying to encourage more activity there. So definitely make the Facebook group an important stop as well. So now I'm going to give a very brief look at the services that we run, because hey, we do this and we kind of do it really well. We have loads of things set up that our sysadmin team have written over a while, or we just set up and found on the internet, that have actually proven really useful over the last while. So, for instance, we do web hosting, and Motley Magazine, the award-winning student publication UCC, they host their website on us. It's very fast because it's located here in Cork, in the Cork Internet Exchange. It's all for free. It's got SSL. It's pretty much better than any web host that you're currently paying a €5 a month bill to. And we even have our own admin panel, which again, Evan really led the way in designing. So you can manage your databases, soon domains, you can install a WordPress blog in a few clicks. We have smart backups. We'll show you how to use SSH, IRC, and so on. It's really, really just so straightforward. I'm so glad it's out there. So we have two servers. Leela, which we managed to get a significant amount of money for, has 64 gigabytes of RAM. It has 32 essential cores, threads, but they work like cores, running at 2.40 gigahertz per second each. We have 5 terabytes of one kind of hard drive, 2 terabytes of another, and we have it all running on Ubuntu, so it should be, if anyone has experience with Linux before, it should be pretty easy to log into that. We have another one as well, Big Bertha. Although it's called Big Bertha, and even though it is physically massive, it's 4 times taller than Leela. Not quite as powerful, but it definitely is something that we run a few services on as well. You can log into both of them, run code on them if you want. We have limits set up. Don't try and attack us. Someone, last year we did this talk, and someone literally was like, okay, yeah, I just maxed out your server. Don't tell, you shouldn't just let me log in. So yeah, that was the time we learned about security. Quickly, I'm just going to mention SSH. On Linux and Mac as a command, you can use SSH, your username at leela.netsoc.co or bigbertha.netsoc.co. To get a username on a server, going back to the Netsoc admin, you can register a Netsoc account on that website. All you need is a valid UCC student address. Tell us what username you want, your password, and so on. This will set up an account, and you can then actually log into and use either of our servers. Matt will go over this very quickly. So this is what you can do. You type in your SSH, and you can start running anything you want on it, really, provided it's not illegal. We have an acceptable usage policy. You should read it. So there's me pointing out that we have a lot of computing power, and I'm wasting it all on talking cows, or I'm really, really wasting it all on talking cows. But if you want to transfer files to and from the servers, SFTP is the way to do it. There's a program called FileZilla. You can log in and put files there. And we're doing, of course, an event about the quick WordPress setup. But we have also Netsoc files. It's Dropbox, essentially, but it's got a bit more storage. You can bother us if you need more storage. I'm not sure what you would need too much, but we'll help you out with that. You can sync files and folders from your computer, share files easily with Link, and it's much faster than Dropbox if you're here in UCC, because it's in the data center that UCC actually connects directly to the same data center to access the rest of the internet. So legitimately, it's incredibly fast. It's really useful. I use it all the time myself. Our committee hosts all our files on it, and we love it to bits, to be honest. So you can register for that service on files.netsoc.co, and you just need to download and install a program called cfile to be able to use that. So last from me, actually, is something which I made not too long ago. and kind of just, I suppose, an example of something that you can make if you've like gotten to know how to use Netsoc services, if you've talked a bit to sysadmins about what you want to do. When UCC brought a new timetable app, I was like, this is great, but now I have to sign into a new timetable app like 100 times a day because I have no short-term memory whatsoever. So I actually I did some research, I wrote a little program, and I was like, this is cool, this works. I now want to be able to have it so that everyone else in UCC can use it the same way. I did it all talking with Evan. We came up with a way to put it out there on the internet for everyone to use. And now if you go to impressive.netsoc.co, you can log in, put in your My Timetable details. It will fetch your calendar and give you something that you can put into Google Calendar or iCal. I've taken a look at the stats today. We've actually got 215 calendars made so far, which is actually kind of more than I'd ever expected. So we're definitely counting up there. It's one of kind of our services that we made because we kind of thought we needed something like this. Last year, a few people also worked on a society's newsletter and calendar. So you can actually go onto lowdown.netsoc.co, look up your favorite society, see all their upcoming events in one like really handy thing. And again, you can also export that, have on your phone's calendar. But now, next up, I'm going to introduce Matt Carrick. Matt Carrick is one of our sysadmins. He's been around with us for a while. He's going to kind of go into us with more detail, an actual demo of how to sign into a Netsoc server, and also to use IRC, which is the Internet Relay Chat, which a lot of our committee and members use to communicate.
Hey lads, up there. IRC is better than Facebook group chats because you will not get a notification on your phone every time someone says anything in them. And a few other reasons, but they take a little more getting used to using them. So to start with, IRC is very, very old, like 30 years old approximately, and it's just a text chat protocol, so it doesn't really have any proprietary systems in it. You can use different clients and servers, whichever ones you prefer. Netsoc, we have our own server, or we have it running on our own server, and we are in the InterSocs peers with all the other Netsocs in Ireland, so Red Brick, as was mentioned, and then we can connect with them directly. And so to join our IRC server, you'll need to connect to the server with SSH, as Colm told you about, and then run the IRC client, the chat program. And on there you can talk to loads of other people in different Netsocs in Ireland as well as in this Netsoc. So this I'll just talk a little bit about SSH, a little more about SSH, and then WeChat, which is the program that we like. There are a couple other ones, but we're going to discuss WeChat because it's our favorite. And Screen is another very handy program for this. So SSH, as was said earlier, is used to connect to the Netsoc servers. On Windows, you'll use PuTTY, which I'll demo a bit later. On Linux and Mac OS X, you can use just a terminal. And on Android, iOS, and Chrome OS, you can download apps. You can find one if you Google for them. You can sort of think of SSH as a remote desktop or like TeamViewer, but for Linux, like it'll connect you to another server, and then you can perform commands on that server. WeChat is our chat client of choice. It's open source and extensible, so you can install plugins and stuff if you wanted to do other better things. It's also really fast and really powerful, but it does take a little bit of like getting used to using it. It's not exactly the simplest thing. I've got a screenshot here of it. I don't know how much you can see, and it looks like a mess at first, but you can see up here that's the chat channels you're in. So this guy is in WeChat channel and Grind channel. I don't know who this guy is. And then you have like all the names of the people who are in the chat or that are talking, and all the people in the chat itself, and the messages in the middle. And then at the bottom you have some more details like how many new messages there are and stuff like that. So it's pretty simple. It's mostly taken up by the messages themselves. So we use Screen then. So WeChat, one of the issues I guess with WeChat is that if you close your SSH connection, WeChat will turn itself off and you will be disconnected from IRC. And we don't really want that. So what we use is another program called Screen to make sure that WeChat is always running in the background. So even if you close the SSH connection or you go off Wi-Fi for whatever, you will always have the WeChat chat running and you'll never leave. I've had my WeChat running for about a year now. Actually, it was like last September we set it up. So I've been in the chat channel for about a year without it going down, because I think the servers have been up for about a year. Yeah. So we've got good uptime as well. So yeah, we use this to keep it running in the background. If you want more technical details, it's a terminal multiplexer. There are a couple of other examples of them, but we use Screen because it's the most popular. These are some WeChat or general IRC commands. So you start a command by typing it into the chat field, but you start it with a slash, and that will tell it that it's a command rather than just a message. So by default, when you join WeChat, it'll join you to our server and a couple of channels automatically. So you don't really need to worry about these at the start. But if you want to join any more channels, like if you want to join like QuakeNet or Freenode or any of these other servers that are on the internet to join like gaming channels or whatever, you'll need to use these. So connect and then the server name. So this would be connect irc.quakenet.org or whatever it is. And then join channel name. If you want to join the League of Legends channel or whatever, it would be /join League of Legends. And then there's a few others. You can change your nickname. So by default, your nickname will just be your username. So if you want to change your nickname to be a little more anonymous or whatever, you can change it with the nick command. So I mean, all these commands are up online and they can be gotten by Googling them. But they're still nice to know. And then there's some Screen commands. So to navigate between Screen, another nice thing that Screen does is that it will allow you to do multiple things. It'll allow you to have like WeChat open and then still go and do other things on the server. So if you want to go and edit a file or like change your website or whatever, you can switch between WeChat and that, and you won't have to close WeChat. So you'll use these commands. So like Control A and then N will bring you to the next, or we'll go to the next screen, and Control A and C will create a new screen to work on. So again, these are up. All you need to do is Google for them. And I'm going to demo using PuTTY. So I think most people would use Windows. So I'm instead of like just talking about all this stuff, I will demo it. So this is PuTTY. Yeah. You will type your username. I've got a test account. And you'll be connecting to lila.netsoc.co, and you can just do that. That should be enough, and then it'll ask you to put in your password. You can also like save this. I can like save the session, so IRC and then save it. Instead of having to type that in every time, you can like just connect to that, and it'll ask me for my password in a second, if this works.
You need to go through CSO.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess I'll be showing you how to use SSH and how to use PuTTY. This is just UCC's firewall. You usually won't have to do this CSGate, but so you would go to csgate.ucc.ie and say yes to that, and then I have to type in here. Let's hope I remember my passwords and stuff. Do I remember my password? It's been a year since I've had to log into this, guys. No. Does anybody want to? Will I just keep guessing?
Aren't you logged into lab yet?
It's much easier.
It's faster.
So that's how PuTTY works, and this is how SSH works. I'll just maximize that. So if you want SSH, so if you're on Linux or Mac OS, you can use SSH by going SSH and then tester at lila.netsoc.co and hitting enter, and it'll ask for the password, and I'll put in my password, and then we connect. So then if you want to actually open WeChat, so here you can do like whatever you want on the server. You can like see all your files, you can see your directory, but if you just want to go to IRC, you can type in IRC and it'll open it, put it in a screen, and then connect you to our server and join you to the UCC Netsoc channel. You can see the channel name is down here, and the Cork channel, which is here. So you can see in the Netsoc channel, there's a couple of us. Overplayed is Colm there, Thief is Evan, and I am this guy, and Thief is talking away. And you can set it up so that you will get a notification. I don't know why that won't work. So you'll get a notification if you get mentioned, so you can see my name got highlighted. But that's pretty much it. You can create a new screen, so I'm like on another screen now, so in the background WeChat is running and I can switch between them, and then I can do whatever I want on this. IRC is great, and I guess you can join the big scary world of Intersocs, which has a couple hundred people in. If you need to get help with some new technology that you're using, you may want to ask in Intersocs, and you'll be given out to often. But they're generally all right guys. So yeah, this is Intersocs. In here you'll have people from Red Brick in Dublin and Skynet in Limerick and all these other Netsocs around the country. Most of them are grand. That's it, I guess.
So yeah, it would be great if like any of you who are interested got Netsoc accounts, got on IRC, and like just hung out. Like it's a good community. We had like a few people on last year. I just pop on in lectures when I found myself nearly falling asleep, and I did all right in exams anyway, so you can too. So I'm going to stop up the recording here. To anyone who's watching it on YouTube,